Saludos amigos de Entre Tarimas Podcast en Enfoque TV. Gracias por estar con nosotros una vez más en otro episodio de este podcast que ya llevamos más de 20 capítulos. Gracias. Ya también hemos sobrepasado los 1000 suscriptores en el YouTube. Muchos de ustedes han estado bastante activos en los comentarios, dándole like y compartiendo todo este contenido. En verdad, muy agradecido. En el episodio de hoy, pues como bien saben, manejamos el fútbol americano, manejamos el béisbol en este canal y en esta ocasión quise poner la luz encima de un jugador de la NFL de origen hispano de nuestro patio aquí en Miami. Su madre es de Nicaragua, su papá es de Cuba y con mucho esfuerzo llegó a la NFL representando pues nuestra herencia hispana. A continuación les presento la entrevista con el pateador de los Panthers de Carolina, EDDY PIñeiro.
Yeah, I grew up playing soccer my whole life. My dad was a professional soccer player. Him being from Cuba, my mom being from Nicaragua, it's been an awesome experience playing at the University of Florida and just having them come down and watch me play. It's been awesome. So
I was also reading you were yourself a soccer player. What made you turn to football instead?
Yeah, I played soccer in high school. I always wanted to be better than my dad. Obviously he was a pro soccer player, but that never happened. And honestly, just the transition for me was more just, financially for my family to, help them, with their finances and stuff like that and give them a better life. And that's really what came down to the decision to stop playing soccer and kick footballs. So.
What was it like growing up in Miami and going to Miami Sunset, I believe as well, right?
Yeah, I went to Miami Sunset senior high school growing up. Then went to junior college. I went to ASA College in North Miami Beach, and then from there I went to the Gators.
What was it like for you while playing soccer and then ultimately playing football and growing up in Miami? And once you decided, okay, my future is going to be the NFL, how was that process for you to focus completely on it?
Yeah, I was playing in junior college soccer, and then I had a full right to play at FAU. And the coach for the junior college team needed a kicker, and that's what happened. I came out, kicked a couple balls, then I ended up quitting. I'm like, no, I don't want to play football. Like, I love playing soccer. Like, that's the love of my sport. And then my dad was like, hey, let's just go to one camp. If you don't get a scholarship, then you quit forever, because in high school I played like 3 or 4 games, and then I quit. And then I went in junior college, did the same thing, played like actually in junior college I didn't even play any games. I just did a couple practices and I just quit. And then like it took off from there. Like I went to a camp and I told my dad, hey, if I don't get a scholarship in this camp, like I'm done forever. Like, because my dad always thought that I had a pretty good leg, So we went to Alabama and I went to their kicking camp and ended up getting a scholarship there. And then that's when like all the doors open and all the colleges started contacting me and,
That's great.
So, yeah.
Did you follow football or was it just something that you did because, like you said in the beginning, you wanted to be able to provide economically for your family?
Yeah, never was into football. My first football game ever was in college.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, like I said, I never followed football, played soccer my whole life, and then just started learning the game more in college than anything. So.
What does it mean for you to make it to the NFL, be a professional football player throughout all these years and through different teams? You've been well traveled as well, right? But what does it mean for you to achieve all of that while having a Hispanic heritage? It's not common to see Hispanic players in the league.
Yeah, I always thank God. I'm super blessed and super grateful He gave me the opportunity to, to be where I am. And obviously being the first player from Nicaragua to play in the NFL, which was pretty cool. I ended up getting an award back in 2019 when I was with the Chicago Bears from the ambassador, being the first player to play. So, honestly, it's an honor. I try to give as much people hope, back where I'm from, not too many people make it professionally, especially coming out of, Sunset and that area down there.
Yeah.
But just giving people hope and opportunities. So.
Typically, players that are raised here in Miami and they go to high school here in Miami and they play football here in Miami, some of them want to stay here in Miami. Did it ever occur to you to play for UM?
Yeah, I did actually. I had a full scholarship offer there before I went to Florida. I was actually committed to Alabama for 8 months.
Yeah.
And on signing day, my dad sat me down. It was between Alabama, Miami, and Florida.
Right.
And, I took visits to Miami and all that. But I ended up committing to Alabama, and on signing day, my parents sat me down like, "Hey, listen, we love the fact that you're going to Alabama. It was the best school at that time in the country. Like they
Yeah.
were number one, winning national titles left
And
and
you were
right."
gonna play for Nick Saban.
Exactly. Yeah. So, on signing day came around, and my dad's like, "Hey, listen, like, we're not financially, like, we're not gonna be able to come see you play. Like, I can't take any flights.
Right.
I can't afford that." So I ultimately that day was like, you know what, like, I'd rather my family see me play than anything else. So, and I chose Florida. I wanted to go to UM, but when I was getting recruited there, there were, their coach was Al Golden at the time, and there
Hmm.
was, there was I would go to the game, and there was like banners like "Fire Al Golden" and all these things, and the
Yeah.
coaching staff wasn't very like settled in,
Right.
and ultimately he ended up getting fired at my first year at Florida. So it was just too much chaos for me at that time. But yeah.
Eddie, as a Hispanic, what are some of the things that you do to furnish the relationship with other Hispanic players that are coming up? Because lately we have, although like I said, it's not common. Lately we have seen a lot more in NCAA. For example, Andy Borregales,
Yeah.
as the kicker in UM. His brother
Mhm.
is now the kicker at UM as well. So lately we have seen a little more push from Hispanic players to
Yeah.
not only make it through NCAA but also
Mhm.
make it to the league. What are some of the things that you yourself work on to motivate some more Hispanic players to make it to the NFL?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more Hispanics as kickers, kicker wise. A lot of Hispanics, they love playing soccer, and a lot of them, they transition into kicking. Like you said, Andy Borgales, I trained with his brother a couple times and trained with them, and it was an awesome experience. And
Right,
like I said, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more Hispanic kickers in the NFL in these next coming years, which I'm super excited for, and
right.
and for all the Hispanics hearing out there as well. Give it a shot. I was a soccer player, turned into an NFL kicker, and it can happen for you as well. So
You are a soccer fan as well, I take it, right?
yeah, of
So
course.
what are you, Barcelona, Real Madrid? That's the two common one down here in Miami.
Yeah, I grew up being a Madrid fan. I was a Cristiano Ronaldo fan forever. I used
Okay,
to buy his shoes, CR7, his jerseys and all that. But obviously now Messi coming to Inter Miami, and obviously I live in Kendall,
right.
so all you see is just Messi jerseys everywhere, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to see that and support the home team. So
You've obviously been during the season, right? But have you had a chance to maybe make it out to one of the Inter Miami games and see Messi?
I haven't been able to, so I was super close. So on our bye week, Messi actually came to Charlotte last week and played
Oh,
here, and I went back home. I went back to Miami, so I wasn't able to catch the game.
right.
But I'm hoping when the season's done, hopefully I can either catch a practice or a game. So let's see.
Eddie, finally here, man. I know we have a short time, bro, but I definitely want to, congratulate you, because you are, although you were born in Miami and obviously English speaking, probably is like your stronger language, right? But your name, Eddie Piñeiro, definitely carries a Latin background, and I
Mhm.
want to congratulate you, right, for all the work that you've done. And with that, I want to ask you, what are some of the struggles that you've encountered during your time in the league? To be able to s- make it and stay there and keep at
Yeah.
it year through year.
Yeah, the hardest thing obviously is you want to be as consistent as possible, especially as a
Right.
kicker. You want to make big time kicks. You don't want to miss. Just for me, my struggle is probably bouncing around teams. I played with the Raiders one year, then I got
Yeah.
traded, played in Chicago for 2 years, then I got hurt, got released, then played with the Jets, and then got released, and then thank God now I got here last year and I'm here. But it's just it's tough. It's tough. It's hard to play in the NFL. You have a less than 1% chance. I was listening to something the other day. It's tough, and I've been just trying to work hard, grinding every day, and never take it for granted. And I'm blessed every time that I step on the field. I always thank God for giving me the opportunity to be here. It's never taken for granted, man. So
Right. So Cuban background, Nicaraguan background, the first Nicaraguan heritage player to
yeah.
play in the NFL. Have you gone back to your let's
Yeah,
say
I go to Nicaragua every year. I go to Managua. I go to Casares, Leon. I go
nice.
back with my family. We go every year. There's a soccer team that I go watch over there in Diriamba. It's a really good soccer team. I support them. I always go back with
Nice.
my family, and it's pretty cool, man. Like you'd be surprised. Like every time I go back to Nicaragua, it's like a lot of people like recognize you. You know what I mean? Like I walk down the streets and it's like, oh, Eddie Pinheiro, you know, the kicker, this, that.
Great.
Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to like to experience that and feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
The support from the country, you know, it's pretty cool.
I know the NFL is doing a great job, you know, trying to expand the sport globally, especially to Europe, Mexico as well. But players like you that come from smaller countries like Nicaragua and from a place like Cuba, where football, although it was played there at one point in the history, there's it's not very much common, right? So hopefully, the NFL also looks at these other countries and sees that there might be some talent there as well. And you could be one of the players that you know, pushes that forward.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to one day be an ambassador for one of those countries and just start doing camps and stuff like that. That's my hope
Right.
and dream, and show all those kids like, you know, there's hope and keep dreaming. You know, it
Yeah.
can happen for you, and I'm just super blessed to be here too. So
And that there's also other alternatives, right? For us, it's baseball and soccer mainly. But obviously, you make it in football, you open up other paths for younger kids coming up
absolutely.
in sports in general. So finally, I do have to ask you, gallo pinto, arroz con frijoles, what's it gonna be?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with gallo pinto right now. I've been on a big craving mood of gallo pinto with queso frito and some
Oh
tajas and
man,
stuff. You know, I love, you know, in Miami, I go to La Fritanga a lot, and that's my spot. And you know, I never take it for granted.
yeah.
They don't have it up here, that's for sure.
I know there's a Hispanic community up there, right? But I guess gallo
Yeah.
pinto hasn't made it. Fritanga hasn't made it up there yet.
No, they haven't made it up there. There's Cuban food. You got some empanadas and croquetas and stuff, but not, you know, not Nicaraguan.
Well, Eddie, thank you for this time. I know we have, like I said, a very short time. I hope to speak to you soon where we can go more in depth into your career and into how you got to where you are right now. Thank you very much for the time. And I mean, congratulations one more time, and have a great success the rest of the way.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Let's definitely do it again.
Bien, ahí estaba Eddie Piñeiro. La entrevista, pues, de nuevo en inglés. Se siente más cómodo él de esa manera. Espero que les haya gustado. Ya vio también que le gusta, pues, el gallo pinto. Ha estado en Nicaragua. Y como bien mencionábamos ambos en la entrevista, esperemos que la NFL continúe haciendo un excelente trabajo para expandir el deporte de manera global. Ya hemos visto cómo han logrado tener partidos en México, también en Europa. Han logrado también conllevar partidos. Los Dolphins de Miami, por ejemplo, estarán jugando allá en las próximas semanas contra los Kansas City Chiefs. Así que la NFL está haciendo un excelente trabajo para expandir el deporte, y sería bueno también que viéramos esta expansión también para Centroamérica y Suramérica, en donde estoy seguro también hay muchos fanáticos de la NFL y el fútbol americano. Gracias por ver este episodio de Entre Tarimas Podcast. Nos encontramos en la próxima ocasión.